Hi, and welcome to another Beer Garden podcast, joined as usual by Charene and Joe. And looking forward to an interesting card. Charene, how's it going? You've been enjoying the action at Happy Valley on Wednesday?
Yes, right. Last Wednesday, we have quite good results. So hopefully on this Sunday at Charene, we will continue our performance. But yes, I don't think it is an easy card, but hopefully we can find you some winners.
Yeah, it's a tricky card, Joe, isn't it? But I think we're hitting form, don't you think?
Yeah, we're getting in the right direction now.
Yeah,
we got some winner. He landed some best bets. I got a second, and I think Shot will be a little bit better.
I think so. Well, we may as well get straight to it. We're looking at the last three races on the card as usual, also looking at our best bets and value bets. And it's a very competitive triple trio at the end. It really is. The race 8 is a class 3 over the 1600, race 9, another class 3 over the 1200 or 6 furlongs, and finally a mouth-watering race at the end. That's a class 2, the best race of the night, over the 1400 meters or 7 furlongs. So we will get started very shortly. Joe's looking very handsome there. Look at that.
My camera disconnected. I know.
Look
you know
that.
what? Let me reach. I'll just change it to the phone so we're not wasting time.
No problem.
That's okay.
Hold on a second.
We're so excited now, waiting to see Joe appear.
Yeah.
You
can hear me though, right?
I can hear you. That's the main thing, isn't it? Actually. Yeah. Shall we just start, Joe? Shall I just talk to you?
I'll just do it real quick because it's just an app. It's just an app on my phone.
It's not quite the same. It's not quite the same without your appearance, you know.
I don't think anyone wants to see me anyway, but
we do.
Yeah.
We do. I mean, we saw the Swiss Alps the other week, didn't we?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
No pressure. Anyway, it's the Ping Shan Handicap, a class 3, 3-year-old plus on the turf. And it's all turf this time as well. Sometimes we have a bit of a dirt card and sometimes 2 or 3 races on the dirt surface at Charene. But this time it's 10 races. Oh, there he is.
There we go.
There we go. Race number 8, which is the class 3 over the 1600 meters. Who do you like in this one?
I went down the bottom, the number 14, Happy Day with Lyle Hewitson. He's drawn number 4. He's been getting close. The first time they tried him on the mile trip in his last race, and he ended up getting second to Massive Action. He stepped up from class 4 to class 3 now. And he was his main riders were Joe Moreira and Vincent Ho. So with Lyle Hewitson and getting a second with Lyle Hewitson is actually pretty good. Speed map suggesting he'll be probably behind the mid pack. He got a lot of speed between 3 horses. That would be Voyage Bubble, Golden Empire, and Looking Cool. It's a pretty competitive race. If you look at there's a debutante in it too, number 11, Young Brilliant, and over the mile. This is I don't know. It's kind of I think it's a really tough race. A lot of these horses do have a chance. You can't I don't think there's going to be one that's the odds aren't out yet, but I don't think one is going to be a definite defined short odds favorite unless maybe Voyage Bubble, but he's drawn wide. But I guess it doesn't really matter because you're on the mile. But I think Happy Day. I think his run at the end was pretty eye catching. So I'm going to go with Lyle Hewitson. He did have a winner at Happy Valley a couple days ago. So, yeah, I'm going to go with number 14, Happy Day.
Pretty good selection as well, Joe, I think. A young horse, lightly raced, progressive. So, yeah, I can see why. And when I saw you pick Happy Day, I thought it does look rather tempting. Charene, who do you like in race number 8?
Yeah, in race 8, my pick goes to number 9, Haven Aguila. He's quite an interesting runner, I think, because you see from his 2 starts in Hong Kong this season, he raced over 1650 at all weather. It is never easy for a new horse to coming to Hong Kong and making his debut over a mile. So, but he did show some good performance. He showed a really great turn of foot from the home stretch. So this time he would be quite interesting because switch switching from the all-weather to the turf, I think he can also handle this surface. Because when I check his form before coming to Hong Kong, he is an Ireland runner, and he did have some good performance over there, over the turf. So I think this horse is settling in Hong Kong quite well. And also he is lightly raced, side by a Acclaim, which I think may not be an early mature type. So he's still a 4-year-old. I think he's still improving. So I think he's getting better and better when he gets more experience. And also this time Zach Purton takes the ride. The wide draw, I'm not that afraid of the wide draw because he used to be a bad marker, and there should be some speed in race X, so it will be quite favorable for Harvard Aguila to chase. So I would have my pick on him over the turf. I think he can also handle it. Number 9, Harvard Aguila.
So number 9, Having Nagila for Charene. Interesting horse, as you say, a 3-time winner in Ireland, formerly known then as Warren Beach, and making his local turf debut after 2 runs on the Shatton Dirt. Well, I ended up going for number 8, Golden Empire. A nice horse. He ran a very good race recently, in a race that's working out very well. It's produced a lot of winners. And Voyage Bubble took the 2nd place that day. Back in 6th was Golden Empire. Kind of hoping that he can turn the tables. The handicapper doesn't really give the horse much slack, the Francis Louis horse, but he's a nice, consistent horse. And he ran well 2 back when 3rd to the Classy Sweet Encounter over track and trip. I always think perhaps suspicion is he might be better at 7 furlongs, but he's not had too many opportunities at the 1600 meters. And I think he's an interesting horse return to it. And also it's nice to see him reunited with Ruan Maia. The Brazilian is 2 from 5 on the horse. That's a 40% strike rate. So I'm hoping certainly that Golden Empire can make the frame. So just to recap, Joe goes for a lightly raced horse, interesting at the foot of the weights. That's number 14, Happy Day. Shireen is going for the ex-Irish horse, and that's number 9, Having Nagila, ridden by Zach.
Nagila. Oh, sorry.
Really? It's a song?
It's a song. It's a song. Yeah,
it's a song, isn't it? Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah,
great.
That's right. I thought
I
it
didn't
was
know that.
I thought it was familiar.
Oh.
I think you really need to do the whole song, though, Joe.
I think it's a Jewish song. I think.
Yes.
Really?
Anyway, we'll pass over that. And
that's nice.
Yeah, Jewish celebration song.
Exactly. And number 8,
cool.
Golden Empire for me. So there we are. Let's go to race number 9 now. It's still a class 3, still a nice class 3. This time over the 1200 meters or 6 furlongs. Joe, are you having a picnic?
No.
With snacks.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you never share the snacks, do you?
I got a protein bar. That's
you never share the snacks with us, though.
No, you want one? You can have
all these fancy holidays in Switzerland on your own. Anyways,
I should have brought back some Toblerone bars.
Exactly. Who do you like in race number 9, Joe?
This one was really tough. I was going back and forth with a lot of horses in this one. I think another tough race as well. We don't have the odds, so that's what makes it even more tough, is to just go by what your decision is on what you're going to finally pick at the end. Because I was looking at California Veins, Golden Express, who's in form, Naboo Legend, Mark the Moment. A lot of great horses in this one for a class 3, and I ended up going with Zach Purton's mount, number 12, Dream Pursuer. He's draw number 1. His last performance wasn't great at Hong Kong, but he's going to be a lot more fit now against Capital Legend. Only beaten by a length, but you know how I love those Victorian horses. He came from Victoria in Bendigo and Wangaratta and got first 2 in a row at high weights against 3-year-olds at his penultimate race, and then his benchmark 64 race, and then his penultimate maiden race. He ended up against 3-year-olds, but he ended up winning. I think it's a really tough race. Another one of this sprint race is a lot of speed, I think, with Naboo Legend. California Veins, another one that's been going back and forth between all weather and turf. But he did have a good race last time, or his penultimate race was actually really good on the turf until this last one at Happy Valley on HKIR night. I was really leaning towards him because he's going to get some weight break with Angus Chung. But I think second up, he'll be more fit with Dream Pursuer. And you got Zach Purton. I'm not quite sure what the odds are with Manfred Mann as well. 5-year-old gelding. He's only had his one run back in December 18th, only beaten by a length. So I'm gonna go with, and he keeps the same weight. So number 12, Dream Pursuer with Zach Purton for me.
Dream Pursuer, drawn on the paint under Zach Purton for Joe, trained by Manfred Mann, of course, the trainer of Lucky Sweynesse. And Charene, who do you like in the penultimate race?
Yes, this is going to be an interesting race. I'm with number 6, Golden Express. First of all, I think in race 9, there should be some speed here because there are California Veins and also Majestic Knights will be leading. So I'm quite looking forward to to the horses who will be staying in the midfield or at the back, including Joe's selection, Dream Pursuer, and of course my pick, number 6, Golden Express. He's a 4-year-old, so I'm thinking his plan in this season. So maybe he would like to compete in the 4-year-old classic series, but at the moment the rating 67, he should have one more victory in Hong Kong. So I think in this race he stepping back to 6 furlong, I think it is more suitable for him because on his first up in Hong Kong he performed quite well over this distance, but last time he stepped up to 1400 meters and he changed the riding tactic to lead. Obviously it may not that very suitable for him, so I think this time he will be staying at the back. So with the fast pace I expected here, I think Golden Express ridden by Sylvester D'Souza having quite a good chance here. So I have my thought on him. Number 6, Golden Express for me.
Golden Express for Charene. Well, I agree with you. I think Golden Express, number 6 as well, a really nice horse. I thought his last run was excellent. It was just collared close home, wasn't he, by Super Sunny Sink, who actually went on to win next time. So the form was working out nicely. And he just looks like a horse that is on the improve. I don't think gate 10 is a significant problem either. He'll be nice to get a lead. As you say, the tactics were changed last time. I think this will be better this time. And Sylvester D'Souza in fantastic form too. You want a good jockey on your side. So just to recap there, Joe has gone for, if I can remember what Joe went.
12.
Number 12, yes, Dream Pursuer, probably the favourite, I would imagine. Dream Pursuer, and myself and Charene both going for number 6, Golden Express. Well,
we're gonna get a golden double.
I was looking at that.
Empire.
Yes.
Yeah, the golden
Love
double.
gold.
Quite nice, that isn't it?
Too bad there's not a golden race. Well, there's not a golden horse in the lap, or maybe there.
Well, I was hoping for a golden. So was Galaxy's the nearest
golden treble. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, never mind. Race number 10 over the 1400 meters, 7 furlongs, a class 2, the best on the night. Who do you like, Joe?
So I actually have 2 selections. One is going to be my main pick, and then there's going to be a value pick. So I'm just going to explain the main pick for now until we get to value. So that's going to be number 7, Navis 2. He had a really good season last season in Hong Kong, I think. Very consistent, getting 3rd, 4th, 2nd, 5th. But he hasn't won yet. He hasn't won in about a year. So that's the main concern. In this class 2 race over the 14, he's going to go back to his preferred trip where he's gotten victories, and that's where he placed the most, and that's where he's mostly raced. So they bounced him back on the 1200, on the 1600. So it's nice to see him going back to the 1400. I know Ruin Mai is trying to get a win. I don't think he's had a win in a while. But then I think there's still 4 behind that run behind Lucky Sweynesse back in June towards the end of the season. So he did get a second and almost beat him. So it's going to be interesting to see. I think this is a really tough race for a 1400 race. Beauty Live, Mr. Ascendancy, Galaxy Witness, Taichi Monster, APAL. A lot of them, like Tuchel's trying to go back to back. He's drawn 14 though, and I mean, Zach Purton could probably steer him in the right direction and get him out of and run in transit. But there's 3 that I think are going to be in the lead. That's Beauty Live, Kingland, and Winning Method. I think Navis 2 is just going to sit midfield and try to run at them at the end, but he did have blood in his trachea the last start, so he hasn't raced since the 30th of November, and then his race before that, he was draw number 11. So I think he's had a lot of unfortunate circumstances in the last 2 races. So I think he could bounce back, and he's a horse in form, and you don't really want to underestimate his form. He could run. Just the last 2 starts have been pretty disappointing. So I'm hoping that we get good odds on him. So that's number 7, Navas 2.
So Navas 2 for Joe, and an interesting horse, Ruin Mai, of course, on board, and of course Ruin Mai is on my horse in race number 8, Golden Empire. And Charene, who do you like in the finale?
Yeah, here another 4-year-old I'm going to pick, and he will be number 5, Golden. Sorry, Galaxy Weakness. I was thinking about Golden, Yeah, Galaxy Weakness, number 5. He made his debut in Hong Kong last season, and at that time he was like a rising star because he scored 4 wins from five stars last season. So all of us in Hong Kong are hoping that when he turned 4-year-old this season, he should be improving. But after several attempts this season, he didn't have a win. However, I think last time there is some good changes because after putting on the blinkers, his performance is getting better. Maybe he is now more focused on the races. And this time he keeps using this gear. So I think it is one of the good point for the horse. And also before this race, he just had an impressive fairway trial under Hugh Bowman. And this time he takes the ride, and I think he is quite a suitable jockey for this type of horse. So I'm just imagining he will be chasing well from the home stretch at the last part of the race. So I think Galaxy Weakness this time with the blinkers again and then moving back to the turf track should not be a problem for him. So I fancy number 5, Galaxy Weakness.
Galaxy Witness number 5 for Charene, a horse that I certainly picked a few times on the beer garden, and that's just this season. So hopefully Hugh Bowman can deliver. I went for number 3, Beauty Live. He's run well in 2 starts this term, and latterly finished a very good second under Joe Moreira on the HKIR day. And I mean, that was so nearly the perfect swan song for the Brazilian, but finished second. He's a slight step slow from the gate sometimes. I think on his first run this season, he was a bit slow, and then marginally slow the next time, but not significantly. He very quickly made up ground. And I think from gate 10, Karis Teton can hopefully go one better. But as you say, it's a fantastic race. I think Winning Method, even though he's top weight under Vincent Ho, is an interesting horse. It's funny when you look at the comments, the barrier trial comments, because I watched recently. I think Voyage Bubble won the barrier trial, and you had in third place Winning Method, and just ahead of him Tuchel, and Tuchel was down as being impressive. And just behind Tuchel was Winning Method, and it said made steady progress. And yet, to me, they almost looked identical runs. So I thought if Tuchel's impressive, so's Winning Method. It was like that. They were so similar. So Winning Method, and watch your bets, because we've also got Winner Method, which is another interesting horse further down too. And I think Tuchel's interesting as well, because he won really well on his seasonal return, and then he had he was withdrawn on veterinary advice, wasn't he? And but he looked just as good recently back under a trial with Zach Purton. So it's interesting. I think he's a nice horse. He's drawn gate 14. How many times have we seen a horse, if they're good enough to win, if they're good enough to win, then they're good enough to win from any draw. So I think he's a big danger, Tuchel, despite a very wide draw.
I think we made mistakes. I think my selection is Golden Navas 2, and then Sharene's is Golden Galaxy Witness, and
I
then
think
Golden
that's right. Yeah.
So that we can have a golden treble.
I must admit, when we're doing this, it has you in knots sometimes, doesn't it? When you're saying, in race number 5, we've got number 4, Lucky 8. It just has you in knots, all these numbers and names.
Yeah.
So,
har at heart.
Har at heart. Good bang, 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 bang. And
Oh, wow.
yeah. Anyway, to recap, Joe goes for number 7, Navas 2. Charene goes for Galaxy Witness, number 5. And I'll go for Beauty Live, number 3, with Karis Teton on board. Now we come to our favourite part of the show. And this is our best bets part of the show. Joe, who do you like? Who's your money on for your best bet of the day?
Excuse me. My best bet's going to be in a Class 4 race. That's race number 5, the Nam Sang Y Handicap, over 1,400. I've never been on this horse before, so this is going to be interesting to be on him for the very first time, and I'm a big fan of his, and that's number 1, Hussein Bolt. I think coming from Class 4 after coming down from Class 3, I think he has a definite chance. I mean, he's been trying to get a win for so long. He's a 7-year-old gelding, but the one thing I'm banking on is Sylvester D'Souza also having a good day again, because he had a 4-banger in at Happy Valley, especially winning the January Cup as well. So I think it's there's going to be some second time starters, and there's going to be some horses that we've seen before, like Call Me Teddy, who's going back to the turf. Cayenne Glorious is getting a second run, another chance. Fireball that we've been on, Speed Feifei, Joyful Genius. It's going to be a pretty competitive 1,400 reader race aside from that. But Sylvester D'Souza's run, especially at 14, draw number 14, he doesn't have to face Circuit Mighty again. So Hussein Bolt, he's draw number 4. He did have an eye-catching run, barely almost beating Circuit Mighty. So that's another good thing, is he's not going to face him. So race number 5, number 1, Hussein Bolt with the top weight.
Nothing from 27, is that right, Joe?
Yeah, I think he's going to finally break through.
Fine. I mean, it was so close last time. Even the commentator thought he'd won.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think
even in the slow-mo read, it was incredibly close. But anyway, Joe, he's going to win next time.
I hope so. I'm interested to see what his odds are. Since Sylvester D'Souza had that really good night at Happy Valley, I think everybody's going to hammer him now.
He'll be full of confidence. Charene, who do you like as your best bet?
My best bet will be in race 6. It is a class 4 over 1,400 meters. I like the amount of Zach Purton, which will be number 6, Fast Buck. He will have his 4th attempt in Hong Kong on Sunday. And among his 3 starts here, he scored a second, which will be last time he was finishing second in over the same distance. So I think with the blinkers last time, he is quite performing quite well. And also before this race, he went to Chongfa for training. And after coming back from Chongfa, I think this 3-year-old, he's just a 3-year-old, improved a lot. He's now more mature. And also I think that this time gate 6 is also quite ideal for him. I am expecting him to be leading, and Zach Purton will be on board again. So I'm quite confident that this 3-year-old is still improving. Of course, he is unexposed, and I think now he's now ready, mature enough, and ready for a win. So race 6, number 6, Fast Buck will be my best bet for the day.
Race 6, number 6, Fast Buck for Charene. I think it's a good best bet as well. As my idea of the winner. He was very unfortunate last time, wasn't he? He came up against a rather precocious $3 million Hong Kong dollar purchase in Forerunner, and that was bought at the Hong Kong International Sales. So he'd have been a winner by now, but for him, it was a very good run. And as you say, a bit more wise now on his 4th start. Well, I go back to race number 9, the class 3 over the 1,200 meters. I like Golden Express, and I think thanks to the presence of Dream Pursuer, who's Joe's picked, and the chances are it'll be made favourite with Zach Purton on his second run, I think hopefully it gives Golden Express the chance of being at a fairly workable price as well. And his last run was very good. He was 3rd to Super Sunny Singh. It's been a race that's worked out really well because we've had lots of winners from it. The winner won again. We've also had Atula Bagil, Tamra Blitz, Sword Point. They've all won from that race. And even the 5th place horse, which was, what was the 5th place horse again? I can't remember. He was second to, anyway, I've forgotten now. But it doesn't really matter. But, it's annoying me though. It's annoying me. It doesn't matter, but it's a very it's a cracking race, and that will annoy me though. Joe, can you find it?
What was it?
It was the who was the? I'm trying to think. Going back to my horse in race number 9, I'm looking back to its last run, and
at Golden Express.
Yeah, Golden Express, and it was a horse that had run a few times in the Classic Series. It was a good
Rocket
second.
Spade?
Yeah, that's it. Rocket Spade. He was second
that race
last
at Happy
time.
Valley the other day, yeah.
That's right. So that was a good, he ran a good 5th. So even the horses that aren't winning from this race, they're running very well. Rocket Spade, of course, that's the one. Brain Fog. So just to remind us all, our best bets, let's go back. Joe's gone for the long-standing local maiden horse-saying bolt to finally come good, the top weight in race number 5 under Sylvester de Souza. And Charene goes for race number 6, and that is horse number 6, Fast Buck under Zach Purton. And I will go back to race number 9, Golden Express, and that's my best bet as well. Now we go to the value bet. Who do you like at a more juicy price, Joe? Who do you like on the day?
Yeah, we're going to go back to race number 10. That is, just to remind everyone, the 1,400-meter race, Class 2. I went with, or for my value pick, I went with Can't Go Wong with Matthew Poon. So he's going to have no weight. His first run at Happy Valley was not great. So I think, but he was a top weight, and he was at a higher class. So now he goes back down. I think he had 2 really good runs in Victoria again. Then they considered him in some Group 2 and 1 races for the 3-year-olds. So now he's a 4-year-old. So he's getting his first run or a second run again as a 4-year-old in Hong Kong. It was in Moonee Valley. He got a eye-catching second, and then they put him in the Australia Derby, but he didn't perform as well. So those are the 2 big staying races. So now he's going to go back to the trip that he's won on before, and back in Victoria, and that was on his debut, and that's the 1,400. I think I like a lot of these ones that come up, especially getting a second run, and it's going to be more fit. But he hasn't really had any trials aside from the ones that he had for this race at Happy Valley. So he's draw number 3. I think underneath you could probably get a good price on him. I want to see what his price is, because I think he'll be a big long shot. But yeah, I think Can't Go Long under the radar here for me, I think. And yeah, I think be a pretty good value play if you happen to catch him. So number 13, Can't Go Long with Matthew Poon.
Race number 10, yes, that was your larger priced one outside of Navas 2, of course, wasn't it? In race number 10, number 13, Can't Go Wrong. And Charene, who do you like in your for your value pick?
My value bet goes to the opener. It is a Class 5 over 1,200 meters. I hope to see Alexis Vidal can return back to the winner circle after the injury. So number 2, Fighting Star this time. He's nothing from several attempts in Hong Kong, but he will be racing at a career low mark. So we will see. So and hopefully he can take some advantage of the good draw as well. So Alexis Vidal, he returned back to the track after the injury, after the fall in November, and he didn't score any winner on these 2 meetings. But last Wednesday at Happy Valley, he's getting better because he had 2 horses running close, including Ace Talent finishing 4th, and also Rise Breven in the January Cup running 3rd in such a big occasion. So this time I hope that he can have a winner and also have some good performance. So number 2, Fighting Star in the opener, first time racing at a Class 5, and actually he can take advantage of the good draw like I just mentioned, because when he was racing in Class 4 and Class 3 before, he did show some good speed. So usually this type of fast horse can have some advantage in Class 5, because whenever he can take the lead, and he can lead at a good pace, so maybe he can take advantage of it, because the rivals are weaker in Class 5. So hopefully first time in Class 5 he can bounce back. So number 2, Fighting Star in the opener will be my value pick.
So Charene and Joe bookend the card, really. Joe goes in race number 10 for his value, and Charene goes for the opener. I do like the chance of Fighting Star myself. He, as you say, many times in the Class 5, you really are looking at a class dropper, and his form figures don't look fantastic, but he's actually been running fairly well. He's not always had the best of draws either. So an interesting horse there. And that's number 2, Fighting Star in race number 1. Well, I went back to race number 6. I think you're right, Charene. I think Fast Buck will probably win this, but I thought Let's Do It was an interesting horse.
Yeah, good horse.
The one horse. Yeah, he's nothing from 19 locally, and a bit frustrating, really, but he's eased in grade again. If you go back to his last run, it was fairly good. It was 3rd to Amazing Victory. He was a little bit unlucky that day too. And I don't think he was particularly. I don't think he helped Matthew Poon last time. If you look at the in-running notes on the HKJC website, he was inclined to lay in, and it didn't really help his rider. But I think back into Camel Waters, Let's Do It has a good chance again. And he's also got the first time cheek pieces, so that's interesting too. Some of his form makes for good reading. And but as you say, I think Fast Buck, the £2 rise there looks fair, and I think he has a very good chance of landing the best bet for you. Anyway, we've got through it. We've seen Joe for the whole time, which was very, very nice. And there he is. And we shall. We hope you enjoy yourself. Always follow us on the Beer Garden podcast, and we shall see you again in the middle of the week with another competitive 9-race card at Happy Valley. Until then,
And then before we go, all right, ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Hava Nagila, Hava
Oh, wow.
Nagila,
And
Oh.
Joe, you should play the guitar.
are you a musician, Joe?
Yeah,
What do you
You
play?
play the drums and the guitar, right?
I play, drums, guitar, piano, bass.
Oh, wow.
He's a talented fella.
Yeah, just not today.
He doesn't just pick outsiders, does he? He doesn't just pick big Bryce winners. He's an actual musician.
Yeah.
Anyway, Joe.
But if that wins, Charene, everybody's gonna have to sing that song.
Well,
Okay,
let's hope it
we will.
finishes second.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. Until
Oh,
then.
we got a Chinese New Year coming up too.
Oh, wow, yeah, we do.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
I'm
The
really
excitement
looking
never
forward to
ends
that.
on the Beer Garden podcast, does it?
Yeah, we got a big.
Yeah.
It's gonna
Need
be
to subscribe. Best
the big-
podcast out there.
Yes.
More winners than
Of
anything
course.
else.
the huge clash between, and it's funny because it's a front runner, a mid pack, and a back marker against each other. Golden 60, Romantic Warrior, and California Spangle.
Well,
It'll be a
it's going to be
really
exciting.
good race.
And I'm off for the weekend. So,
There you go.
yeah. So there's no excuse. I'm going to get winner after winner.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
Let's hope so.
Well, all dead heat, triple dead heat our selections.
Exactly. Hope so. Anyway,
Will be.
until then, we shall all say goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.